Hi everyone, it's me B, and I'm on today to talk about Thoth decks. So recently I've noticed that quite a few of my collection, especially my recent collection, contain decks that are inspired by the Thoth system. So I found that a bit strange because the actual Alistair Crawley original deck, there's nothing for me in terms of I don't resonate with it. So being said, why am I so drawn or attracted to decks that are inspired from this system? So I've decided to start a hashtag titled Mythoth or Thoth Inspired Collection, just to see how other people feel about this. I tend to read all my decks the Rider-Waite-Smith way, because that was a system that I learnt tarot on. How do you read your Thoth decks? Is there a particular way of reading Thoth decks? I'd love to know. Are you like me? Do you find the original Thoth deck quite challenging but resonate more to the inspired decks, or is it vice versa? Do you find the inspired decks challenging and resonate more with the original deck? So, love to hear everybody else's views. I'm going to flip the camera around now and show you my small collection of Thoth inspired decks. Hiya, I'm just on to show you my very small Thoth inspired collection. Okay, so the first deck I want to show you is this one here. It's called the Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea, and it's a US Games deck. So this deck first came to my attention when somebody called Gil Tarot, who's a fellow YouTuber, showcased this deck on her channel not too long ago. So there's been conflicting information about this deck, because some people say it's a Golden Dawn deck and others say that it's a Thoth deck, but I think it's a Thoth inspired deck because you get the Tree of Life symbol at the back of the cards, and they've got keywords which most Thoth decks seem to get. So this is a really nice deck. I haven't worked with it yet as such. I've just flipped through the cards, but it's based under sea, and it's got, I just like the archetypes that are attached to the deck. So this is the Magician, the Fool. Just a beautiful deck. I'm not quite sure whether this deck is out of print. I bought this deck from Amazon.uk for about £6 something. It came from America. I think with the postage and packaging, it was about just under £10. But I'm not sure whether that was a one-off from a seller or what. I also bought the book for this deck, which is here. And I got this book from a pay-on-demand company called Lulu. It's quite expensive actually, because the US Games version of this book is, well, out of print, and it's going for hundreds of pounds. So this one is a second edition, and it was published in 2018. Don't know if you can see it there, 2018. And it just outlines each card. Gives you a colour illustration, and it gives you the meanings. It gives you what the metal is, what the gemstone is, what the animal is. It's quite an in-depth book, which I haven't read yet, but I will be reading once I work with the deck. So this one is the Tarot Navigators of the Mystic Sea. Another Thoth inspired deck that I've got, which everyone probably knows about, is this one here, which is the Gil Tarot. So I've got the second version of the Gil Tarot, which was republished last year. So it's quite a nice deck. It's just, I mean, the minors are quite kind of pippish sort of, and they've got keywords, but it reads really, really well. There's a few cards here, and again, like I said, I just read it as a Rider-Waite-Smith card. I would actually like to kind of learn the Thoth system. So if anybody knows of any good, easy to read beginner books on the Thoth system, please mention it down below, and I'd be quite happy to have a look at that. So this is the book. I got this book as well last year from the I think I got this from, what's the book depository? No, Blackwell's Books. But this one, the illustrations are in black and white. I just don't understand why when the cards are illustrated in colour. But it just gives you the meanings of the cards, and it's good to work in conjunction with the deck. So this is the Gil Tarot. That's also Thoth inspired. So another Thoth inspired deck that I've got in a tin is this one, and it's called the Sun and the Moon Tarot by Vanessa Decourt. It's just a regular US Games deck in the tin. I think this does also come full size, but I think it had white borders and it was kind of a bit too much for me. So it's just a nice deck. I think the keywords have, I think there's keywords on the minors. So this one, Two of Cups, says love. It's just a nice, pretty deck. So I also have another deck called the Jolinda Tarot. I had a couple of those decks and I gave one away, and the other one hasn't been opened yet. So I can't actually show you that because it's still sealed. Okay, so another Thoth inspired deck that I've got is this one, and it's called the Porro Tarot by Margaret Parrott, and I think Tom Parrott is the artist, and it's published by S&S Adams and Co. So I got this book actually from a website called the UK Playing Cards, and it was something like £6 something. We posted and packaged and it was under £10. So this has got very thick cardstock. That's the back to the cards, and look at that, it's just beautiful. I just think they're beautiful. So it's got the element and the archetype and the suit and stuff. It did come with a white sheet. So this does come with a white sheet explaining what the symbols are. I mean, I would have preferred a book because it's not that detailed, but at least it's something. And again, I read it as a Rider-Waite-Smith deck because that's all I know. So this is the Parrot Tarot. Okay, so another Thoth-based deck that I have is this one, which is the New Era Elements Tarot by Eleanor Piper. Just open it up. Comes with a small book. The cards are in sepia. I mean, at first I wasn't really into this deck because there was a card in here that really threw me off, but after working with this deck for about a month, I'm now okay with it. It's quite a nice deck, you know. The only problem I do have with this deck is the elements symbols. I'd prefer if it was written in writing rather than the symbols. But that's my only little qualm. It's quite a nice deck. I don't know if I show the back of the cards, which I will show you now. Oops. So that's a New Era Elements Tarot. So my final Thoth inspired deck is this one. It's the Shrine of the Black Medusa, which I have showcased on my channel before. It's supposed to be the first monolated Thoth based deck. So it's 8 of Cups. But this deck for some reason doesn't have keywords on like most of my other Thoth decks have. That's the Prince of Discs. It's kind of like a collage deck, but I find it quite pretty and I'm very drawn to it. So this is the back of the deck. Okay, so that's my Thoth inspired collection. I really like to hear about everybody else's collection and what they think of Thoth in general. So looking forward to seeing responses. Thanks so much for watching, and bye.